Good evening, Pastor Matthew, Hollywood United Methodist Church, as we join this evening to start our final three chapters of the Gospel of Luke. And in particular this year, really, I'm going to be looking at these chapters and wondering, is there anything here that might change the way we receive the good news this year at Christmas? And so, as a reminder, we left off where Jesus has had some questions back and forth with, this was actually the last one, was all the end time stuff and the community stuff we talked about yesterday. So let us read Luke 22. Now the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. The chief priests and the scribes were seeking a way to eliminate Jesus, because they were afraid of the people. Then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, who was numbered among the 12. Judas went away and talked with the chief priests and officers of the temple guard about how he might deliver Jesus to them. They were delighted and agreed to give him silver. He acknowledged and began looking for an opportunity to deliver Jesus to them when there were no crowds. The day of unleavened bread came when the Passover lamb must be sacrificed. Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, "Y'all go and make preparations for us to eat the Passover." They asked him, "Where do you want us to prepare it?" Jesus said to them, "As y'all enter the city, a man carrying a pitcher of water will meet y'all. Y'all follow him into the house that he enters, and y'all tell the master of the house, 'The teacher asks you, where is the guest room in which I may eat the Passover with my disciples?' He will show y'all a large furnished upper room. Y'all make preparations there." They went and found things just as Jesus had told them, and they prepared the Passover. When the hour came, he reclined at the table, and the apostles with him. He said to them, "I have desired to eat this Passover with y'all before I suffer. For I tell y'all, I will not eat it again until it is fulfilled in the empire of God." He took the cup, and after giving thanks, he said, "Y'all take this and share it among yourselves. For I tell y'all, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the empire of God comes." He took bread, and after giving thanks, he broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given for y'all. Y'all do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after they had eaten, he took the cup, and it said, "This is the cup of the new covenant, in my blood, which is poured out for y'all. But look, the hand of the one betraying me is with mine on the table. For truly the Son of Humanity will go as it has been determined. But woe to that man through whom he is betrayed." They began to question among themselves which of them it could be who would do this. A dispute also arose among them as to which of them was to be considered the greatest. But Jesus said to them, "The kings of the ethnic groups lord it over them, and those who have authority over them are called benefactors. But it is not to be like that with y'all. Rather, the greatest among y'all should become like the youngest, and the one leader like a servant. For who is greater, the one who reclines at the table, or the one who serves? Isn't it the one who reclines at the table? But I am among y'all as one who serves. Y'all are the ones who have remained with me in my trials, and I bestow on y'all an empire, even as my Father bestowed one on me, so that y'all may eat and drink at my table in my empire. Y'all will sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Simon, Simon, look, Satan has demanded to sift y'all like wheat, but I have prayed for you, that your faith wouldn't fail. And you, when you have turned back, strengthen your brothers." But Peter said to him, "Lord, I am ready to go with you both to prison and to death." Jesus replied, "I tell you, Peter, the rooster will not crow today until you have denied that you know me 3 times. Then he said to them, "When I sent y'all out without money belt, bag, or sandals, did y'all lack anything?" "Nothing," they answered. Then he said to them, "But now, whoever has a money belt, take it, and also a bag. Whoever doesn't have a sword shall sell their robe and buy one. For I tell y'all, that which is written must be completed in me, that he was counted among the transgressors." That's an Isaiah quote. "For what was written about me is reaching completion. He said, 'Lord, look, there are two swords. He said to them, that is sufficient. Jesus went out to the Mount of Olives as he routinely did, and his disciples followed him. When he reached the place, he said to them, y'all pray that you don't fall into temptation. He withdrew about a stone's throw away from them. He knelt down and prayed, saying, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. Then an angel from heaven appeared to him, strengthening him. Being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat became like drops of blood falling down to the ground. When he got up from prayer, he went to the disciples and found them sleeping, exhausted from their sorrow. He said to them, why are y'all sleeping? Y'all get up and pray so that y'all won't fall into temptation. While he was still speaking, suddenly a crowd appeared with a man called Judas, one of the 12, leading them. He came near Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus said to him, Judas, are you using a kiss to betray the Son of Humanity? When those who were around him saw what was about to happen, they asked, Lord, should we strike with the sword? And then one of them struck the high priest's servant, cutting off his right ear. But Jesus responded, stop this, y'all. Then he touched the man's ear and healed him. Jesus said to the chief priests, officers of the temple guard, and elders who had come against him, have y'all come out with swords and clubs as if I were an outlaw? Every day I was with y'all in the temple, and y'all never laid a hand on me. But this is y'all's hour, and this is the reign of darkness. They seized him, led him away, and brought him into the house of the high priest. But Peter was following at a distance. When some there had kindled a fire in the distance of the courtyard and sat down together, Peter sat among them. A servant girl saw him as he sat in the firelight. She looked intently at him and said, this man was with him too. But he denied it, saying, woman, I don't know him. After a little while, someone else saw him and said, you are one of them too. But Peter answered, man, I am not. After about 1 hour passed, another insisted, certainly this man was with him, for he is a Galilean. But Peter said, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Immediately while he was still speaking, a rooster crowed. The Lord turned and looked at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he said to him, before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. Then he went outside and wept bitterly. The men who held Jesus began mocking and beating him. They blindfolded him and kept demanding, prophesy, who hit you? And they said many other blasphemous things against him. When daylight came, the council of the elders of the people, the chief priests and the scribes, gathered together, and they led him away to their council, saying, if you are the Christ, tell us. But he said to them, if I do tell y'all, y'all won't believe. And if I ask a question, y'all won't answer. From now on, the Son of Humanity will be seated at the right hand of the power of God. They all said, are you then the Son of God? He said to them, y'all say that I am. They said, why do we need any more testimony? This is the word of God for us and for many, the people of God. Thanks be to God. So as I said on this one, as we're getting near, rather close to the end, I'm also very cognizant that tomorrow we will meet at 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock to celebrate the annual celebration of Christmas, of the birth, back where we started this on December 1st. Let me see here. And so as we're looking at that, I want to see, okay, is there something in the end that might harken back to something in the beginning? Is there something that we can think about? There's this great piece of art where it shows the nativity scene, and hanging in the nativity scene is a crucifix. And it is both dark and macabre and also kind of funny there, but also just this sign of even here, this is where we are going. And so as I was reading this just now, I noticed this thing, and I want to see if I am crazy or if I am reading too much. And so let me see here. There we go. So here in chapter 22, this is the one thing I want to tell you here. In chapter 22, we get this. We want in verse. Hold on one second here. We want verse 11. In verse 11, it says, "Where is the guest room in which I may eat the Passover with my disciples? He will show you y'all a large unfinished room. Y'all make preparations there." The word in Greek for that room, that guest room that he specifically is asking about so that they may celebrate, is katalima. Katalima. It is the same word in Luke chapter 2 when it says, "And when the time was given birth, Mary had her first son, wrapped in swaddling cloths, laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the katalima." So here at the beginning, we see Jesus is born in the stable because the katalima, and pardon my Greek, it's not my specialty here, because that was full, there was no space for that sort of preparation there. But here, as he approaches the end, as he prepares to celebrate the festival of Passover, that is where he will do it. The place where there was no space for him is the space that has been prepared and left for him to do his preparations. That's just something for us to think about here, about the no room, and here it is the room that he finds. Especially because, by all accounts, in both the Luke 2 that we'll read tomorrow and the Luke 22 that we read just now, it doesn't make very clear about why there wasn't space in Luke 2 and why there was space now. Think about that. Meditate on that and think about what, if anything, that might tell you. Maybe you just say, that's a coincidence. Whatever it is. So come back tomorrow morning. We will go ahead and read Luke chapter 23, and then maybe around 3 o'clock, which is about an hour before our 4 o'clock service, we will go ahead and close it out with Luke 24. Again, in both of those, my focus is going to be, what do we see at the end of Luke that harkens back to what we will speak of at 4, 7, and 11 about Christ's birth. Have a wonderful night, y'all. 4 o'clock family service, 7 o'clock is that service when you picture what Christmas Eve looks like, that's that. And 11 o'clock is if you're looking for something a little less, if you want something a little quieter or something a little more contemplative, come on out there at 11 for that. So I will see y'all tomorrow.